My name is Silvio Dobrovat, the president and owner of Hometelligent Incorporated, a small GC firm, and we specialize in ADU construction, custom home builds, remodels, and basically creating space. We purchased this property about 2.5 years ago. It had not been on the market since 1933. It has 3 buildings on it. The property has a creek running through it. Number one challenge is that it's terraced. It's on a hillside, so there's a lot of topography changes. This is a heavily treed lot, and we didn't want to use metal like on other properties or steel beams. We wanted to use something that kind of is in keeping with the nature around. I personally love redwood, and I love the contrast to some of the darker colors that we like to use on our projects. And we also like the texture difference between smooth siding and rough sawn redwood. So we used rough sawn redwood for all our pergolas and arbors. And secondly is the quality of the material, and Humboldt redwood that we get from Dolan Lumber, our lumber supplier, has the best quality around. For most of our arbors and pergolas, we used 6x6 posts, 8x8 posts in some instances, 4x6 beams, and in some instances 4x12 beams, which typically at most other lumber yards will be special ordered, but they had them in stock, and it helped us just kind of stay on schedule and get the job done. So for the upper area where we have our entertainment area, we excavated the hillside and used pressure-treated posts and a pressure-treated retaining wall, again for wanting to fit with the organic elements that are around. My wife has a really big green thumb, and she loves gardening. And the previous owners actually told my wife that nothing grows here, nothing, so she took it on as a challenge. And we created some planter boxes. So for the planter boxes, we used 3x12 redwood, 4x4 posts. Wood is malleable. You can cut it to size, to shape, and the retaining wall in particular, we got to kind of mold it to the terrain and use it in a way that some other surfaces or materials we couldn't have done. Ultimately, using redwood and using pressure treated gave us the flexibility that you wouldn't have if you were to do concrete retaining walls and you had forms and rebar. You couldn't navigate those obstacles as easily. Number one, I think it's known that pressure treated and redwood has longevity. But number two, we wanted it to age gracefully with the property. We didn't want it to look new forever because this property has some patina, has some vintage, and we just thought that wood would complement this property over time and it would age with the property. It's just a pretty unique piece of property, even for this area, to have this much space that's not hanging off of a cliffside. And it's definitely a park-like setting, and we love it here.
Find out more about Humboldt redwood timbers and lumber, including where to buy, at getredwood.com.